Alright, so we're back for another chart analysis for today's trades, and I'm just going to go over my thought process here on the day. So, what happened yesterday? NVIDIA earnings came out. We had a massive gap up in both the ES and also on the NASDAQ. And so, as we can see here, after hours, price gaps up, pushes up super strong. Same thing happens, a little less strong, but same thing happens on the S&P, gaps up right here, pushes up. So going into today, I was very cautious because I know that we already pushed up strong, so I knew a retracement, a rebalance was likely. But in terms of where we'd head from there, I didn't really have any bias going into today, so I was pretty cautious. So if we scale down into the 15-minute chart, the only move I would have potentially made was right at market open, this drop, and maybe even this drop. But for me, this just wasn't enough of a retracement for me to get in here. And this was just pre-market. I don't really trade in pre-market. And so by the time 9:30 had opened, we already pretty much had made this move. I could have got in here, but I didn't, and it is what it is. Now, if we look at the 5-minute, right when price started to retrace here, of course you could look to get short, but volume was so low right here, it was just making my dick softer than a marshmallow. So I didn't make any moves whatsoever. And to me, price just looked indecisive right here. I wasn't seeing anything that was showing me that it wanted to move down strong. I could see a scenario where it pushed back up because in the past, we are in an uptrend on both of these charts. And so every time that we've seemed to have a strong drop off, price rallies super strong and takes out old highs. And so as we had this drop off here, I could also have seen it continuing to push high, especially after the strong NVIDIA earnings yesterday. So I was cautious. I wasn't doing anything. Something interesting that I noticed though on the 15-minute is, and this is kind of the reason why I'm showing both charts at the same time right now, is because if you look at this candle that was formed on the 15-minute, on the ES, we had broken these old lows back here with the close of this candle. Look at the exact same candle on the NASDAQ. We were not even close to breaking these lows. And so with all this downward pressure, all this sell-off here, that told me that if I had to have a bias as to where price is going, I believe that NASDAQ would continue to sell off until we took out all the resting liquidity below these lows back here. And that's exactly what happened. So you're probably wondering, where did I enter and how did I make so much goddamn money today? And this is exactly what I did. Like I told you, I was confused up here. I didn't know where price was going. This was not the usual setup that I would take. I was not seeing the confluences that I wanted to see. Nothing was kind of aligning with my strategy, and these were not what I'd call easy trades to make for my strategy. So what I did was I took my ass out of my TradeAvate account and I logged out, and then I brought my ass right back in to my paper trading account. And this is where all the degen happens. And I went ahead and commenced in some degenerate activity here. And price did exactly what I was talking about. After this 15-minute candle, I went ahead and entered a short. And then I went ahead and bought down here, bought down here. Price did exactly what I was doing, and I made $0. So I absolutely trolled you in the intro. I was just paper trading, and I just did that to kind of show you that not like you can't believe everything that you see on the internet. And just because you have an idea of where price is going as you start to see things play out, it doesn't mean that you should YOLO in your funded account. It doesn't mean you should YOLO in your own money and trust and just hope that it's going to play out in your favor. This is not a trade that I would normally take. This doesn't have the confluences I'm looking for. I didn't have the right bias going into today. And of course, sometimes when price develops, things become clear, structure becomes clear, and you can enter a trade even if you weren't necessarily planning to. But today was just not that day. I didn't like the way that price was moving. And, because of that, I didn't catch this move. And this move was very, very strong. I don't even think there were many opportunities to get in. I would have needed to scalp on like the 1 minute, which I don't typically do. And price kind of just from here all the way down to here just kind of went straight down until about here when we got a small retracement and then does a tiny move. So wasn't really interested in that anyways. But this just goes to show that, you don't need to make a move. Like going into a day, you don't need to make a move. I've noticed that some of my biggest mistakes in the past always comes from me trying to find something to do, trying to look for a trade rather than the market showing me a trade. And old me, idiot me, probably would have just taken this trade in my real account and just said, oh, okay, well, I feel like it's going down and there's all this sell pressure and you know what, we're probably going to target here. And I just would have YOLO'd into a trade. And to be honest, even if I did that, like, yes, this little move here worked out the way I thought it would, but even if I did that in my main account and it worked out, to me, I just would feel like I don't even deserve that. Like, what the hell are you doing? You're going away from your strategy, you're doing stupid shit, and you're just being emotional, because the only reason why I made this trade or felt the urge to make this trade was because I was hoping I could run up the account and make some money. And that should never be a reason for why you take a trade. Not because the setup is there, not because my bias is aligning with the way that price is moving, but because I just want to make some quick money on this drop. That's not the way to trade. So I'm very happy with today. And this is just a strategy that I use to mitigate risk. And anytime that price is not really doing what I'm looking for, I just log myself out of my Tradeovate account and I just put myself into paper trades, and then I can just do all the degenerate things that my emotions and my mind wants to do with no consequences. And the funny thing about doing this is that to me it's a win-win situation. One, you protect your account and you're not going to blow your account. Two, if let's say you're right about the move on the paper trade account, then good, you feel good. You're like, okay, I knew it was going to go there and it did go there. Great. I'm the man. I'm the boss. But if things go south and they don't go the way that you're hoping, let's say price just ripped up and just stopped me out or put me in a massive drawdown on my paper trade, then I just feel super, super thankful that I did that, because I'm like, holy shit, good thing I didn't make that trade in my main account or I would have blown it, right? So to me, it's like a win all around to adopt a practice like this. And this is just something I do to mitigate my own risk. So I completely trolled. No money today, no trades were made in my main account. I'm still halfway through the challenge, and I'm just going to wait, because I know that I'm only about one and maybe two trades, 1 to 2 good trades away from passing this first stage or whatever. So I'm just going to wait until those days where it's easy. The setup is just easy. It feels easy to trade. Everything looks really clear. And if it's not clear, I'm not going to take those trades. So that's what happened today. And let's get on with the rest of our day. So look what I got here. This is called a Ninja Creamy, where you can literally make ice cream, light ice cream, gelato, all this shit here. And I froze this overnight. This is literally just coconut milk, glycine, it's like a non-essential amino acid, protein, pea protein, and strawberries. And a little bit of water as well. So I'm gonna put this in and show you guys how it works. But it's really good. It's like you can make healthy ice cream, and it's pretty close to the real thing somewhat. Too long. Let's see. All right, we just respun it, so now it's looking super sexy now. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Alright, so I'm just gonna absolutely demolish the shit out of this and then go for a walk outside. Just getting some coffee action.
I need it.
I have a question for you. For people that say that aliens aren't real, how on earth do they explain these? Got the good stuff. On our way to going to eat some sushi right now. And I'm so goddamn hungry. Let's see who can gyat the loudest. Gyat!
Gyat!
Gyat! Gyat!
You're doing
Goddamn!
Gyat damn!
You got the gyat on ya.
I got the dog in me.
You got that dog in ya.
Dog.
Mm-hmm.
Oh!
Tapped out. Can't eat anymore. Alright, so I'm going to give you guys a little ancient Hawaiian story, and this is how it goes. So if you look at these flowers here, you'll notice that they're literally only half a flower. Like, you'll never find a full flower. And the legend has it that essentially there was a Hawaiian princess and she fell in love with a fisherman, which was forbidden because she was born into royalty and, you know, this guy was just a commoner. So basically they weren't allowed to be together, and what she did was she took one of the flowers, which is this flower, off of her, out of her ear, and then gave the fisherman half of it, and she kept the other half while she went to go live in the mountains, and then he went to go live by the ocean. And it said that as soon as that happened, then this flower bloomed and essentially only had one half of a flower to represent them two being basically separated. And so if you ever are here and you see this flower and you find one that's whole, then that means that they've been reunited. But I've looked for that my entire life and I've never found one. So yeah, forbidden love. Side bowls. Yum. Crispy grinds.
I wear my heart on the sleeve. You only call when you need shit. People change like the seasons. I've been fighting back.